Sup. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and Future Bachelor only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity. This fun podcast may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
I don't know why I didn't come.
It's a whole freaking song.
I didn't come. Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
Veronica.
And this is episode 102. Yeah.
Wow. Whoa, you just like blew straight into my face with that one.
Sorry.
You're not.
I just,
Don't know why. You
yeah.
let that ride for so long?
I honestly thought the song was a lot shorter than it was supposed to be, but who knows? I really think the starting off the show like that really gets me going.
I'm going to have to bring back some more higher energy songs, especially because I've been tired lately. And like when we started off slow like that, I'm kind of like,
Well, turn it back up because here we are. What's going? So speaking about the motivational speaking,
speaking of,
do you think I'd make a good motivational speaker?
no.
No, no, dog. I think I would if I'm just like not talking over Nora Jones music. I think, but
No, I feel like you're very self-motivated, so I don't know if you'd be good at motivating other people.
I think I would be. I don't know, maybe not. But
hey,
anyways,
everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. I don't think I'd be a good motivational speaker.
well, I want to motivate you to tell me how you've been.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if I'm good at this. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
See, I told you I was good at it.
Okay. This is part of the show. This is a routine thing.
Okay, yeah, segments.
So I was in Miami. We were both in Florida this past weekend.
Yeah.
I was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, bienvenido a Miami.
Are you one of those people that plays that song when you get there?
No. I should have.
Oh.
I will next weekend.
Because I am. We
Okay.
drive in and it's like, bing, bing. Welcome to
Miami. That's how I am with with New York. I do listen to Taylor Swift's "Welcome to New York."
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I go back to Chicago, I listen to "Homecoming" by Kanye West.
Oh, wow.
So like.
Yeah, so that could be your Miami song.
So,
Miami song.
Miami. But I went to Miami with some of my Vixen, which is the dance I do, friends. We had a blast. We worked out. We danced. We had a really cute Airbnb with a pool, and like we did a lot of. The thing is, so you go on a trip with a bunch of girls who we're there and we're doing a lot of stuff for the gram, which.
Okay.
We all know me. I lean into my basic. I enjoy a good session for the gram. I got my thirst trap.
Like you guys actively are like, we're going out for gram stuff right now?
Like there's this area called Wynwood Walls. Okay. And like so that we were actively going out to there to take pictures by the walls, which is like what people do. But like I was
Do they though?
Yes.
Oh, people do it? Okay.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people doing that. And so like I got my one good pic and I was done.
Yeah.
Everybody else had to take like 50 bajillion pictures by every single one. And I brought my cool Hawks starter jacket, like my members jacket, for the Atlanta Hawks. And I knew they would be like really sick in the pictures. And then, of course, all the other girls were like, wait, can I buy your jacket? Wait, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's right, bitches. Let me style you up.
I'd be kind of mad if somebody else was wearing my jacket, though.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't my
Steal
jacket.
the swag.
It wasn't my jacket.
You know
to
when
start
it'd be like everyone has the same wall, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You obviously. All right, like why don't you guys just take a picture together? Because y'all.
We did take a couple pictures.
Oh,
we did take several like group photos, especially like at dance and at like a couple of the walls and whatever. But it just. I love, like, it's fun, but after a while, like, I get a little drained with the whole, like, okay, let's do another one. Let's pose this way. Wait, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'd rather actually be, like, going and doing more shit. Like, let me keep
interesting. I thought you'd be all about that.
I am, like, as I said, like, I'm about it for, like, I get my shot, like, but I know what to do. Like, I get in, take the shot. People are like, damn, V knows exactly what to do. I'm like, yeah, I don't waste time. I know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I'm weird about, like, I don't even know I'm like, I might ask somebody to take a picture of me or something, but most of the time it'll just be like, you're around people that are constantly taking pictures of each other. So you're just like,
We're friends with so many creatives.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's nice to be able to like, take a nice picture of your friend and send it to them, and they have like something to post. Like,
There's a lot of airdropping happening.
Yeah, it's fun, you know.
It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Like one night, we had like a fire pit and stuff. So we did s'mores and games at the house. We played this game called Social Sabotage, which is like kind of like Cards Against Humanity in the way that it's set up, where everybody gets to pick like a card that they think would be the best for the scenario, because like the judge in this situation is like the sender, so they pulled a card that will be like, send to the first person with a letter R name in your contacts or whatever, and then people are giving you cards, and like the one that person got for that one was like, send a picture, like say that you like your foot's stuck in the toilet and whatever, and like that you need help, or like whatever. It's like crazy stuff. Like I sent something to a dude.
What? Wait, you guys actually did it?
Yeah. And so like there was like something.
Do people like refuse to do?
Yeah, and then other people might have to do it, or like we could have like changed the rules up and like made it more of a drinking game.
Yeah.
But I had to like send something to this guy that I literally went on one date with 4 years ago, and because he was like the first J letter name or something, and I think I don't even remember what I sent him, but it was like something I'm like about like having ass sweat. I'm like, that's so us. And he just responded with like the ellipses, like 3 dots, and I just like ha-ha'd his response. And then I was like, whatever.
Oh my god. You know what's funny is like I love saying like this is so us. Like,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's
no reason.
That's why I thought it was so funny, because I was like, this is so random. This person has not heard from me in years, and like I have no reason to ever talk to this person
That's
again.
Hilarious.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, I was in Orlando visiting my sister and my brother-in-law and my nephew, and I saw my mom, so that was cool.
Yeah, fam time.
Yeah, it's crazy, just like, you know, being able to be around like my nephew. The baby is just so cute, and then he threw up on me, which was, you know, rite of passage. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, all babies do that.
Yeah, so I was like just expecting to get puked on again, but I didn't. He was just super cute though.
He's still so little.
I know, but he's getting big. It's actually crazy too, because like he still looks little, but like it's like damn, like he's so much bigger than he was last time. And it's just like these kids grow. Babies put like life and time in perspective like so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, because like babies like they like grow like so quick.
Yeah, and you're like, what? You're an adult. Like I was holding you in one hand. Like it's crazy. Yeah, anyways, you know that baby talk, but
yeah,
but both of us actually caught planes back here to, you know, I don't know, something that we're used to called quick hits.
Actually, I only caught a plane. You drove.
Yeah, you're right. That was why'd I say that? I was stunting for the pod. Pulling a little bow wow. Anyways, what do we got for some quick hits?
So there's some new music from some ladies already come out, on the horizon, all that jazz. So Lady Gaga came out with her new song Stupid Love last week, I believe. There's already been like, you know, different dance challenges and whatever, because of course she released like a very big music video, and I mean very Gaga-esque, and you know, the gays are here for it, the pop fans are here for it. I keep seeing it
all over my feed, like the super bright pink.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't.
You know, I kind of think it sounds like a pitched down version of Born This Way, just with different lyrics. If like you really listen to it, you're like, similar shit. But I'm a fan. It's fun time. But her new album, I don't know when it comes out. I think it comes out in April or May. But she's been teasing that. So interesting comeback for Lady Gaga. Because we haven't really heard any like new music from her for a while. I mean, the most recent music stuff she did was
In the Shadows.
Yeah.
Stupid song.
I know you hate that song. Other new music that's coming out this Friday is Demi Lovato has a single coming out, and like with a new video, so she's officially back on the scene.
Cool.
Megan Thee Stallion, her album is actually going to be coming out on Friday, I believe, and this is after a whole bunch of stuff. You were actually just listening to the Joe Budden
podcast.
Yeah,
they're talking about it, like Megan Thee Stallion, and like
she had to like
deal.
Yeah, she had to like her label wasn't gonna let her release it until she renegotiated her contract, and so there was like a whole thing trending on Twitter this past week, saying "Free the Stallion" and "Free Meg," and so
Yeah, they were just talking about, like, she hasn't even put out an album yet, but, like...
She has.
Well, not, like, there might have been a mixtape.
Yeah, I guess she's had multiples, but, like, yeah, I guess, and that's what they were even talking about, like, what consists of an album or a mixtape, or, like, what, and, like, why is it different?
I mean, that all has to be, it's just business, like, that'll probably work itself out, but...
Yeah, it was just interesting to see, because I saw some people tweeting stuff being like at Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift has been recently, especially with her documentary and things, trying to be a big advocate for women in music and like their different like contract restraints, or like how they get bamboozled by contracts or whatever. And so someone like tweeted like at like Taylor Swift, now's your time to like show support for that, what you say you support, when it isn't just like helping you. And I was like, damn. So that would be interesting if we ever heard from her, but we won't. So, but yeah, so that should be cool to get that new music. And then the Dixie Chicks will be releasing a new album in May. They had their single Gaslighter come out today. Wow. If you're listening to this, it'll be yesterday.
Gaslighter.
Yeah, so which is very like, I mean, the Dixie Chicks, they went down in flames after they came out with saying like, like, we're embarrassed that the president's from Texas, and that was back about George W. Bush. And so it's kind of like they've always been like, a feminist group. So it's interesting to see them bring that into this new era. And this is going to be their first new album in 14 years.
Speaking of country music, I don't know if you saw this or not, but this group, or this guy, he goes by Rumor, RMR, and he like has like this country, like he flipped this like Rascal Flatts song, and it's called Rascal. And if you haven't seen it yet,
I wake up and teardrops, they fall down like rain.
This is him singing a cappella.
I put on that old song that we dance to. And
so that's like a beautiful Rascal Flatts song. If you just heard that, you'd be like, oh, someone's singing a cappella or whatever. But like right now, what I'm looking at is the official music video. It's called Rascal by RMR. And they're wearing like ski masks. They're like all African American guys with ski masks and like AK-47s and guns like pointed at.
Oh my God.
So then he go on to like have this song.
I hustled and found a pound of blood from the extra. Show me love. Now I'm flexing in a rag. They hating on me too.
So essentially, you guys.
I love his actual song.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's really good actually. But the song, like the way they flipped it, is about like I don't know, like jacking like a girl that fucked him over or something like that. He completely flipped the concept.
No!
But it's getting like a lot of recognition and stuff right now because
agenda.
Well, it's funny because like you've been seeing like country music like using influences of hip hop, but this is the first time like hip hop is like just straight up jacking like country music and like doing it like hip hop and stuff, and like you guys have to see it. They're like smoking Black and Mild, smoke coming out of their grills and stuff.
God,
like
I love
you can't
it.
even see the faces because they're like ski masks. So
that's so fun.
Yeah, that's something that I was hearing on the Joe Budden podcast. They're like, this is crazy. So check it out if you haven't seen it. It's RMR Rascal. The music video is pretty funny. But what else we got, V?
So a couple of deaths that happened of, men who have lived long lives. But the founder of Trader Joe's, Joe Colombo, he died recently. So pour one out for him. Get some cauliflower gnocchi for him. Love that shit. And then James Lipton, who was the host of Inside the Actors Studio, he just died. He like also lived another long life. I think he was 93. The founder of Trader Joe's was 89. So, I mean, if I live that long, I'll be happy. And so James Lipton is known for having a couple of set questions that he always asks the actors that he interviewed. And I wanted to play around with them.
Okay.
So
this is fun.
So what profession, if besides the one that you currently
Wait a second,
do?
we have to start the game. Yeah! Asking questions with Veronica, inspired by James Lipton. Rest in peace. Yeah. And our host, Veronica.
Okay. Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to
I hate you.
Veronica.
Welcome to Veronica. All right, what is the question?
So, besides the profession that you currently practice, what profession would you love to practice? What would you love to be?
I'd love to be a famous musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably love to be a fashion designer if I had the patience.
Okay.
What profession would you never practice?
What profession would I never practice? Ooh, this is a good question.
I know.
That's pretty good. I would probably never. I don't think I want to do sales.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a very I'm thinking when I thought of this question, I'm thinking dirty jobs, and I'm thinking I don't want to be up in some, I don't know, some sanitation facility dealing with going through the sewage.
I don't know, something. I would definitely not want to do that. Yeah, but sales is it's one of those things that's it's almost at least when you're doing that shit, you're doing something. In sales, you have to. I feel I'm good at
cold calling.
Yeah, I feel I'm good at selling stuff, but your livelihood depends on you selling stuff. It's just it's the worst thing I could ever think
it is.
of.
I don't know. I feel we have a bunch of friends that work in different areas of sales, and
I mean, people are good at it. Like I said, it's a scary thing. I respect people that do it
Yeah.
and actually are successful at it, because that's one of the ones I couldn't do because it's just not for me. I make the stuff for them to sell. That's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
I see that.
Yeah, we're partners.
Okay, if God exists, what would you like to hear him say to you at the pearly gates after your death? Is this assuming that God and heaven exist?
What what's the question?
What would you want him to say to you?
I would want him to say I know you really tried to be good.
Eloquent.
Was that eloquent? Or were you being sarcastic?
A little bit.
I know you were trying to be good. Right? Wouldn't that be nice? The whole time, he's because you're going to make mistakes, you mess up, you're not a good person all the time. But in the back of your mind, you try to be good, or be better. So
I feel so if God exists for me, first of all, I don't know if it would be a he. Maybe it's a woman.
What if God
was a woman? I would want them to say to me, I don't I care. I feel we both care about a legacy, but I would be you left something worthwhile back on earth. I feel that's what I want them to say. Then I'd be at peace, eternal peace.
Yeah, you made a difference. Really? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you how, but get in there, Veronica. All right.
Do you want to move along?
Yeah. Well, what's another one?
Okay. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yeah.
Whoa, these are crazy. They're so basic, but I've never would have thought of it. My favorite word would probably be
I feel mine changes.
Like. Oh no, love.
Oh. Lover boy. Mine is I feel a word that I love a lot to say is dichotomy. I love that word. I think it's a fun one. Least favorite word.
Least favorite word. It's weird. I think it's they have to do with smells, stinky. I hate the word stinky. And I forgot what another word that has to do with smell or something that I don't like. But yeah, stinky is definitely one of them. I hate when people are oh, that's stinky. Don't say stinky.
I guess this is gonna get mine's gonna get real. My least favorite word is probably the word retard. I feel I don't like when people use it, and I don't even like hearing it. It just sounds.
Well, you just said it there, buddy.
I know.
And everyone heard it. So good job. You messed up. But yeah, I hear you. Not a good word.
No.
What's your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. I like the sound of the C word. Much like.
What word is that? I'm just joking. What is it? How do you spell it?
CUNT.
Oh.
But I also, similar sound. I like the word fuck. I like the way that sounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably. And I like plural.
Fucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
That's my favorite one. It'd be these fucks.
You really do like that.
Oh, that was a fun game. All right, guys. Now back to our regular scheduled programming.
All
right, V, what else we got for some quick hits?
All right, so
yep.
There was a Yeezy show in Paris,
mm-hmm.
and Northwest, I don't know if she kicked it off or when it was, but
I think she had like an impromptu, like she wanted to perform.
Yeah, so she did a rap, which was actually song by Zaza, also known on Instagram as Red Carpet Girls. It was her song, which Zaza is like
Red Carpet Girls.
Literally, she's like 5 years old, and she's known for like the song "What I Do." And so, people, the mom of Zaza was like, "Hey, like we love that North performed this song, but like give credit where credit is due and whatever." And so there was a little bit of baby beef happening, and then Kim was like, "Oh my God, obviously, like, we're such big fans, blah, blah, blah. We need to get the girls together sometime." And then people were kind of going off in the comments, like Tinashe and somebody else, like some other, like, female singer were, like, trying to, like, we're going at each other, being on, like, Zaza Northwest side. And I was like, these are babies. These are, like, 5 and 6 year olds. Like, let's calm down. But
I mean, to me though, it's like I don't enjoy seeing like North up there like plagiarizing someone else's song.
I mean, no, yeah, especially because she's like Northwest
on the world stage,
and she's on like a stage with her.
I don't
dad.
know, something about like her performing is like annoying to me.
Well, yeah, and it's also just like, okay, so like her dad's Kanye West, he's having his fashion show, and he's like, yeah, let my 6-year-old up here to like just sing a song and scream
imagine being one of
mic.
those models. You're like finally like get to that moment. You're like, I'm here at Yeezy, and then you have to like walk around this girl with a microphone, just like babbling someone else's song.
Yeah, no.
Well, it'll still be cool. But yeah, what else we got?
All right, so I'm gonna just hit us with some Bachelor news right now.
Okay.
So some sad news. Well, yeah, I'll start with the sad news, and then we'll get into the funner stuff.
Hold on, how come we're talking about this now? Why can't we talk about it?
We could talk about it later.
Okay. Well, what made you go? What?
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, just because I thought this was funny. This is a lead into the yikes. So, I guess 38% of Americans said that they wouldn't buy Corona under any circumstances right now because of the scare happening around coronavirus, or better known, or more accurately known as COVID-19. But it's not like Corona beer has anything to do with coronavirus.
Yeah.
Also, I had Coronas this weekend.
I think it could go the other way. Like Corona's is getting like free promotion right now.
So yeah, people are saying that like they haven't seen any like real dips in sales. Mm-hmm. So obviously like, yeah, people aren't actually like practicing what they preach with this. So yeah, I think it's,
at least it's not called like White Claw virus.
Yeah, you'd be screwed.
Yeah. So
White Claw virus.
That's how silly this sounds.
Claw virus.
Claw virus.
Okay.
Yeah, we're bad at this right now. We're tired.
Right.
So what made you go yikes though? What made you go like, oh my goodness, that's crazy, yikes?
Right. So there is this company, a brand, called Honey Pot. It's a Black woman-owned company. It sells like feminine hygiene products, as well as a lot of more like Black, like ethnic. We'll call it because that's what it's branded in stores. Ethnic hair products. So like products for textured hair, usually for like, mixed or Black people. But they also just sell like other feminine hygiene products, mm-hmm. like sometimes like pads, whatever. Created by a Black woman, whatever. So there is the Target ad for it. Has her, going and like seeing her stuff like on the end cap and like seeing it in the stores, and it says like, it has her being like, this means a lot to me to like blaze the path for like, young Black girls who didn't think like, they could have a business in Target or whatever. And so then white women, let's think about Target. Target started in Minnesota. The population of Minnesota is like 87% white. Target buyers tend to be white women. Hi, look at me. But white women went a little cray and were saying that she was being racist for this ad, saying that her products like weren't for white people, which she never said that. And also like, Black people can't be racist to white people. Like, that's not how oppression works. But so like they were going on there and like doing like giving all these bad ratings and reviews of her products, and like, so of course like Black Twitter took to the scene and they're like, yo, we're gonna be out here buying up her shit, supporting our girl, doing what we need to do because like this is redonkulous. Like, like when it's not benefiting white women, like they're gonna have a problem with it, which I think is like just, it's like ridiculous. Like these products, like, and like the tagline of the business is literally like made like for vaginas by people with vaginas. Like that's literally like, there's nowhere in there is it like only for black women, like get out of here, white women, you can't have us. Like,
yikes, I don't even know what to say about all that. Like, it just sounds like I have anything I should say about it, actually. I don't want to get involved in that one. Right, I'm just anyways, well, let's talk about some Bachelor stuff. This was a pretty interesting week, right? Or hold on, do we have a main topic? Or what are we talking about?
Unless you, I mean, I asked for your feedback before we started the show, and you did not give it to me.
All right, well, let's pick it. I'll give it to you.
Okay, do we want to just, I was thinking we would just go into talking more about the idea of cyberbullying and how ABC handles bullying and like with their whole segment.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about cyberbullying like first and just be like, you know, I don't know. For me, it's weird because like I know it happens like all the time, but like because I'm not like really I actively in my mind can see how a person would cyberbully. There's things I see all the time online that I would just want to talk shit to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll go as far as to say, like, I've even thought about, like, just creating a secret, how
like
bad I want
Finsta?
to, like a fake account just to be able to talk shit on things. Just to pop in and, be, like, just check people. Like,
because
you know?
that's the thing. It's like it's so easy to hide behind, you know, a screen or a keyboard, which it's all sounds super cliche these days. But, I mean, it's real.
But the way I choose to like, you know, combat that is by just not saying anything at all. Like really, you know, the way I use social media is like for memories. Like, you know, if someone tags me in a picture and at like a vacation, or, you know, I go on vacation and take a nice picture, or I have a fit, you know, whatever it is, like, or new music or whatever.
Yeah.
Something with TV, whatever it is.
Something with the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast, you know, promoting shit. Like, that's what I use it for. I don't use it to give my opinion on anything. I don't talk about politics. I'm on honestly only positive on there, and I use it to communicate with people that are communicating with me. And so, you know, so when it comes to cyberbullying, it's almost like you either have to accept it with like the amount of fame or attention that you might have, like spotlight on you. So I can't like, you know, for the example of like The Bachelor or whatever that just happened, they had this whole like section of the Women Tell All where
Rachel Lindsay came out
and made like this huge thing about cyberbullying on the girls. And, you know, and it's not even just the girls, like it happens to everybody, you know? So that was kind of like my thing. Like, you know, it was very, it almost made it, there was no like representation of.
It's very vague the way that they presented it.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of the messages that they were reading aloud were very much so directed at, I mean, the looks and mostly like based on race and things of women. And they would keep panning the camera to like the more diverse like members of the cast. And obviously like you could tell which one some of these were like written to based on like what they were saying about them either being like mixed or black or whatever. But I feel like what they really like didn't hit on was like they didn't actually like come out and blatantly be like, especially because they had like Rachel Lindsay be the one and talk about it. I'm like, okay, so like it's about racism in this sense, but like they're not actually going to talk about it, and they're going to put it under this umbrella of cyberbullying, which I'm like, okay, first of all, like ABC or like Bachelor, like what do you like, or do you think like you're going to be able to stop cyberbullying by this? And also like you don't really practice what you preach because
yeah, I mean, like it is weird. Like it's almost like so like there's two different things here. So if it is talking about race, they're not doing much to help.
No, not at all.
The race like conversation just by bringing out the only black bachelorette you have.
They're like here's our like diversity card.
Yeah, and then secondly, if like they're talking about cyberbullying, it's like we were talking about it when we were doing the live watch. It was like you know, it's not really, it's like ridiculous for them to even try to bring it up because like you're making the platform, like you're providing a platform for people to be knocked down like that online. You know?
They also encourage just like, I mean, they did this whole segment after like, you know, encouraging like an hour and a half of women going at each other.
Yeah, at one point
and,
the
like,
girls legit sounded
like
like hens and like chickens, like, you know, squawking like at one point.
And like literally letting them like call each other like fucking bitches.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So it's okay if we're like talking to each other in person, but like when these strangers come at these girls, like, instead of like dealing with the fact that like we're creating, even like, you know, for both the girls show, I feel like it enforces the ideas of like women pulling each other down.
So how do you feel about the whole like Alea thing and stuff like that happened on the show, on the Women Tell All? I mean, how do you think that was handled? Like they kind of like breezed over it, but like it was like the girls were still being dumb about it. It was ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I
feel like they definitely didn't like nobody in any part of like the Women Tell All, like nobody really fessed up to much of like what, you know, what they were doing and like how it was wrong, and like how they were them accusing each other of different things was unnecessary and, you know, hateful and whatever. I mean, I give kudos to Alea for at least like recognizing that she does do a princess voice, and that she does like that she did like kind of stir the pot by bringing different things up. But yeah, none of the other girls, I mean, like they definitely came at her way harder than they needed to. And just like, even like, I mean, they, you know, and then it was like, even with the Victoria P stuff, then they're like, okay, wait a second, like Victoria P, like you're out here being the one who like started all these different like infighting because like you were fake or you were whatever. And then she just tried to hide behind this whole like being like, well, I'm weird, like I'm just so weird. And like that's such a like,
she is weird. I don't like her at all.
That's like, she's no, you can't say weird to just like be like, I'm so quirky and different, when it's like, no, like you're actively pitting people against each other. Like that's being a bully. Yeah. Like you're starting stuff to like, you are spreading different things to like get people knocked down.
Yeah, I could see her being a really big bully back in the day. But yeah, anyways, so, you know, even what else came out of the show? Like, I mean, there was not much. Like, Peter came out, like, confronted the girls. Like, a lot of the girls were like, why'd you do this and that? And he's like, yeah, I don't, you know, for love. Yeah. And
I think it was interesting how Chris tried to go in on Victoria F. Like, so people who got, like, the hot seat were Kelsey. So Kelsey, like, which this was, I guess, another thing related to bullying is, like, Kelsey got the hot seat for a bit, which she definitely seemed like she was, like, you know, campaigning to be the Bachelorette, because this was filmed before they announced that Claire Crowley was going to be the Bachelorette. But they made it like, you know, her swan song of being like, being emotional is okay. Like, nobody should be like torn down for being emotional, even though like I feel like sometimes like she was a little bit too much. And like obviously like the whole champagne gate was ridiculous, but she got rewarded for it on Women Tell All by, you know, having Ashley I continue to get her bag and like be like, hey, like we're the queen of tears, like don't let anyone tear you down, here's a giant bottle of champagne. And then Victoria F got her time in the hot seat, which Chris Harrison blatantly asked her if she broke up marriages, and she just deflected and deflected and deflected. And I feel like I
could see her breaking up marriages.
I feel like that we got nowhere with that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm believing Reality Steve on this one.
Also, you know, Kelly wasn't there.
And people said that either people are saying that she wasn't invited, or
producers didn't like her,
or people were saying that she wasn't gonna bring enough like, you know, action to the thing, or people said that she turned it down. I saw one theory on TikTok, of all places, that somebody thinks that maybe she's the one who Peter's mom is crying about, like, bring her back to me, because that, you know, how they had met at the hotel and whatever, blah blah blah. And then people are like, well, both of his parents follow Kelly on Instagram, and they don't follow like Maddie or Hannah Ann, so like that's quite the theory. I don't know if I believe it.
Ooh, actually,
but
you know
isn't
what?
That crazy.
Actually, you know,
wouldn't that be wild?
Actually, that would be that's a great theory, because that would make a reason why she wasn't there.
And that would also make a reason why, like, that edit of her, like
But she was like, I think she went to like a monster truck thing that night so she wasn't doing anything like special. But have you been hearing like rumors of like a producer or something?
Yeah,
like
I've heard those rumors. That like people think that it's one of the producers from the show, because there's shown photos of them together like at New Year's Eve or different things like that, and like her with like his family. So I don't know. So I feel like that's what I'm thinking, especially because like Chris Harrison in this show is all like, we don't know, like was even surprised or like whatever. I was like,
Yeah, he keeps like, he's not. I mean, I feel like, this is the most dramatic season ending ever. Like, he's not saying that this time. He keeps saying it's like, this is just like, not
He's
even
like-
anyone
he's like,
knows
"A
what's
shock."
happening. Not
He's
even
like,
Peter knows what happened.
"Yeah,
It's like,
we
what do you
don't
mean he doesn't know? He was there.
he was there. It was him.
Hasn't happened yet. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be an interesting finale next week. Tonight.
What else? So, as we said, Claire Crowley, she's going to be the new Bachelorette. She's 38. We talked about this on our live watch. She might bring some more, mature men to the game, but she also
Doubt it.
I mean,
She's pretty immature.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, we also know that.
I mean, she's beautiful though.
She is. She also has dated younger before, so it's not like, I feel like the range.
She had gotten engaged to what's his name, Benoit or what?
Oh yeah, Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from Winter Games, and then that went the way of the cuckoo. But she, yeah. So I'm interested. She's definitely like very similar idea for me. Similar vibes to like Nick Viall with her like coming back from all these different shows and then being like, I'm back now. Also, I'm pretty sure they're around the same age when they had their.
If they were gonna pick her though,
season.
they should have put her on Bachelor in Paradise. Then I think.
She was on Paradise seasons 1 and 2.
No, I mean like the last one.
Well, she had just been on Winter Games like a year prior.
True. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, people are gonna watch it. It's not like it's not gonna be watched.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was like, I was more mad about it like initially when I was hearing all the rumors. I feel like now I'm like resigned.
Well, now it's like interesting because like this is the first time where I've seen like, if you want to date her, like go, like it's like they're gonna be filming for that like next week or something. So they must need like older guys, like a whole batch of like different types of guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know when they.
Like even me, like if I went for it, I'm 32, so it's like it's not like it's unusual, but
No, it's not unusual. Okay. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Woo! Oh, woo, guys. Can't wait to take my NyQuil and pass out.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like we already started this saying this was going to be a short podcast this week because we're tired.
We're doing it. But also, so other Bachelor Nation news. So Jasmine and Alexa from this past season. Alexa was known for being the one with the cool afro, and Jasmine was like, I think, the only Asian girl.
There's another one.
Oh yeah. Oh well, Tammy. Duh. So, but Jasmine was like one of the Asian girls who got out quicker. But they posted a photo.
She's beautiful though.
I know, she's super cute. Jasmine posted a photo of them together and captioned it like we found true love after all. And so then everyone was blowing up, being like, oh my god, they went on the show and then became a les for each other. OMG. Woo! Yeah!
You sent me a text.
I sent it to, because I saw it. My friend had sent it to me. I saw it, sent it to you, and then just as quickly as I sent it, Alexa had posted something to her Instagram story being like, whoa, we didn't expect this photo to blow up like it did. Jasmine just thought that was a cute caption. Like, Jasmine, like, she's super straight. Like, we're not together. Like, we're just really good friends. But I was
so
like,
is she saying
damn.
that she's not super straight?
I mean, she might not be. I mean, I wouldn't put past her.
It's
But
a weird way to phrase it.
yeah.
Well, interesting. A lot of Bachelor stuff this week, guys.
Oh, and then the other sad news is that Tyler C's mom died. There's still, the reasoning is still unclear. But he like had canceled. He was supposed to be on Good Morning America, and he had canceled his appearance. And because he had to go to the hospital and deal with the family emergency.
I thought it was his dad that was like the one that was sick that he was talking about. Wasn't it?
Which he was, because like remember like when they did hometowns on Hannah B season, I think he has like a stoma or whatever. Like I think.
Yeah. That must be hard for him.
Yeah.
You know, both parents probably dealing with medical stuff, and his mom passes away.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. Well, yeah. I mean, next week we'll probably be a little bit more into
Next week we'll have more to talk about.
I thought there would be more to talk about with the women tell all. They didn't
really
really tell anything.
They really didn't tell much. It just felt like when I remember watching it, I just think of all the hair. There's just a lot of hair extensions on that stage.
Right.
And I mean, I guess the one thing that we totally breezed by is like how the episode started, which was they, did the to be continued. They were back at the rose ceremony for the fantasy suites, and it seemed like Madison wasn't going to show up. Something like questions I have is like, did Madison, after, she left their fantasy suite date and didn't even go to the suite and like didn't even finish dinner?
No, she just stayed. She got manipulated to stay.
So my thing is like, did she go back to the suite? Because the girls kind of like didn't know where she was. So my thing is like, was she back in the suite with the
producers
girls?
Probably convinced her to stay.
I want to know logistically what happened after she left the fantasy suite date.
Love is blind. You'll never know.
But she did. So she won over Victoria F, which really to me just speaks to how Peter just wanted to bang Victoria F. Like that just is what it. I mean, because like he didn't even go to her hometown. They had a super toxic relationship. He only kept her around so he could bang her, and then he was like, "Did it, done. See you later."
Jeez, that's
but
rough.
come on. Their relationship wasn't good. He was gonna keep her. Like I was surprised that he picked Matt, but like also not. He loved Maddie. I'm surprised that Maddie stayed.
She's just so hot, Victoria F.
I know.
Hot.
I know.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I really have no clue.
I have no idea.
They're so good at.
I just have heard all the theories that I've just shared with you are all the things that I've heard whispers about. So like that's,
Try not to like dig too deep into
that. Me
rumors.
neither.
Yeah.
I don't either. It's just like whatever I might sometimes see when I'm on our own Instagram. But
well, let's get into our slapper of the week.
Yeet.
This slapper of the week. It was a song that I heard on New Music Friday, driving back to Florida. And when I heard it the first time, I was like, "Oh my God, this song is like really good." And I don't even know, it wasn't even like the words necessarily or anything like that. It was like the music and like the lyrics and the concept and all
melody.
That stuff. And I listened to it like 100 times, and like every time I showed someone, they were like, "This song is good."
It's gonna be on like this year's on your Spotify.
Yeah, like holy crap, you listen to this song like a billion times.
Yeah.
It's just so good. But before we get into it, the song is called "Not Your Friend." So you've heard it a couple times and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever just like wanted to tell somebody like, I'm just like not your friend anymore? Or have you ever had to?
Yeah,
Really?
I've had friend breakups. I feel like you can listen to this song and take it in kind of like a couple different ways. I feel like you could take it as being, we've talked about on this podcast before, the idea of like how people will say like after you break up or you maybe like end a situationship and it's like, oh, but we can be friends. Like I would love to be friends. Like we can still be friends. And I feel like part of me, the first time I listened to it, kind of heard it that way, being like, I'm not your friends. Like, we're not going to make that work. Like, it can't happen that way. And then also, like, the other time I've listened to it, I've heard it of more of, like, breaking up with, like, a friend and, like, being like, like, I've changed, you haven't, or you've changed, and, like, not in a way that I like. And, we just can't be friends anymore.
The way I kind of, when I hear this song, it's like, it's weird because, like, I don't know if I actually have a situation where I really can be like, I'm not your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a situation really like that. Like, I feel
you got close with some of your friends, I feel like.
Well, yeah. But, like, even then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many people out there have, like, reasons to say that to people and be like, I'm not your friend. Like, someone stole money from them, or this person keeps cheating on them, like, blatantly, or, like, just, like, fucks you over, like, constantly or whatever like that. With even my friends or whatever like that. I mean, I have gotten close, you're right. But, I've never had to be like, I'm not your friend. Like,
I've definitely.
I haven't. And so, like, when I think about that, I'm like, or even a breakup, like, it's not even like I'm not your friend. Like, it's not even really like that. I mean, so I think about it like that too. Like, oh man, like I feel lucky that I've somehow cultivated a life that, like, I haven't had to really do that to too many people, because I really pride like myself on being friends with so many people, and like, I don't know. Like, I've just never gotten to a point. Like, I mean, people will fade out. I've just never had to tell someone, like, we can't be friends.
I mean,
even breakups, like.
I feel like I've maybe not like so like in that many words, but I've definitely had situations where I've had people who, you know, had been my friends, and I just like, you know, I'm like, having you around me anymore, like, is either annoying or you're just not like nice, or you're just like, my growth is way surpassed yours, and I don't want to be friends with someone that can't meet me where I am.
Yeah.
So I definitely have like.
I think I've thought of a reason. You know, like how I hate girls that are like, can we just be friends?
That's literally what I said earlier.
What?
That was the example I said at first.
What?
What you just said.
Anyways, our slapper of the week is Not Your Friend by Jeremy Zucker. And I think you're going to really enjoy it and get it on your playlist because it's got a lot of repeat value. So here we go. Without further ado.
Yeah. You are now rocking with Simon. You
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Party. 'Cause I decided that I'm not your fucking friend.
Slapper of the week, Not Your Friend by Jeremy Zucker. I've never heard of the artist, but I want to hear some more. It's one of those things where you hear a song by somebody and then you like try to like look for them and there's like nothing to find on them online. It's kind of like that right now.
So like he must be like super fresh. Do you know how old he is?
Or I didn't find any information. Like I was trying to find information on that rumor guy too, and it's just like just people coming out of the woodwork now. But do you have any shout outs?
I wanted to shout out the girls that I went to Miami with, so all my Vixen friends, but mostly my friend Clarissa, because we shared a bed together, and we had a lot of fun, and then my friend Joy, just because she's like kind of like a nice older friend of mine who was like good at like just kind of giving me some advice about different things. And then I wanted to shout out, actually, Clarissa, some of her guy friends in Miami, they started a podcast. It's called Three Juans and a Mic.
It's pretty good for a Miami podcast.
So it's funny. I think they haven't.
Are they all Juans?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so I think they haven't dropped their first episode yet, but they're like starting to like get ramped up.
Cool. What is their podcast about?
It's mostly like, I think theirs is more just kind of like, it's more comedy, like them and like kind of like everyday life things. So like kind of like broing out.
Cool.
And then I wanted to shout out my piercer Cosmo, because I had to go in because one of my earrings completely fell out of my ear this weekend. I don't know how, because it's like screwed in, but he gave me some new jewelry. He always hooks me up. He always knows what to do.
Was it like you had to get it re-pierced, or you just had to get a new?
No, it was starting to close up, so it kind of hurt when he had to shove the other one back in there. But he like moved stuff around and he gave me a new jewelry, so it looks prettier now. And then I wanted to shout out my friend Ashley Holt, just because like she's a boss bitch, and something came up on our Instagram memories from like back when we were relevant in college, and I just don't know. I just always like want to shout her out because she's always like doing the best things in Chicago, and she's super cool, and we're forever shady together. So there you go.
Well, I only have really one shout out. This like last weekend, I didn't really do much, so I didn't have. I mean, I'll shout out like my family that I was with. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to that dope ass nephew.
It's gonna be International Women's Day this weekend.
Okay.
So like, I guess I want to shout out all the amazing women in both of our lives.
Cool. Speaking of my shout out, we're celebrating Ansley's birthday this weekend. She's turning the big 3-0, so I wanted to give a big shout out to her. She's a compadre of the podcast. Made her voice debut on 100, and she was there for the Friends one that we did in Orlando. So happy birthday, Ansley. We love you.
Happy birthday.
And that's pretty much it. This weekend, it's funny because I put out that motion looping cover, and since then like a lot of people have like reached out to want to like jam, and they want to like work on music. So actually this weekend I'll be like hanging out with a couple different people working on music and stuff.
That's good. I feel like you haven't had time to do that a lot lately.
Yeah, I want to make it more of a priority of waking up and maybe practicing some music and stuff, and then we're celebrating Ansley. Paul's brother is going to be in town to move up.
Fun.
Kelsey, his girlfriend. So
that's right, I forgot she's
the crew is getting bigger, and then
everyone's coming to Atlanta.
I know.
Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play.
Actually, I didn't think about that, but we'll probably do something on Saturday. If we're talking about like something to do on Saturday night, we should all do something. So, anyways, this weekend, what do you got planned?
I don't know, because I go back to Miami, not this weekend, but next weekend. So I feel like.
Juan, you go to Miami again?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it just happened that way. So not this upcoming, not like the weekend that you might be listening to this, but the weekend after, I'm back for Taylor Marie's birthday. Okay. So it just happened that these fell together like this.
Do you think the weather is going to be better?
Yeah, it's going to be warmer.
Yeah.
But
I know.
It ended up being beautiful for us anyway, so I wasn't mad about it when we were on the beach and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Orlando was pretty cold, though. I was like, this is like just like Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But, all right, guys. Well, catch us for episode 103. Hope you guys, wash your hands and don't get coronavirus.
Yeah.
Because it's getting real out there, apparently. Don't panic, but just wash your hands.
Don't panic. Just do the same stuff that you would be doing during flu. It's flu season anyways. Just do the same stuff.
But why are people, like, buying out, like, paper towels and stuff and all that?
Because people are free. So if it were to reach, like, I mean, like, it's technically a global pandemic, but like if it were to reach in certain areas where, maybe you would have to stay in your house or whatever were to happen, or like if you had to take care of somebody or if you were sick, people are starting to like freak out and like buy up like things to like stock if they had to stay in the house. But it's like, we're not there yet. And also like buying out everything right now is not the right way to do it. You should like increase slowly, because like we're not, especially in the US, we're only at like we're like at 150 cases and like 11 deaths. And also like anybody in our age range won't most likely, like, we're not as susceptible to dying from it. So
I don't know what's crazier, like not getting all that stuff to prepare or to go out and prepare. I just don't know.
I feel like it's just like, I feel like you just got to be smart about it and like listen to the CDC and stuff as it's happening. Mm-hmm. Just because there's no reason to panic right now when we don't really have a reason to panic.
Hey, I love you.
I love you too.
Sorry for telling you you're wrong and maybe being right or whatever was happening.
I'm sorry for yelling.
Yeah, it's all good. Guys, we get like this sometimes, and we're gonna mute the audio between the slapper of the week because it got real for a second. But this is it. This is why, when you do these podcasts week after week, like, we're both tired right now. Like, legit, like...
Yeah, I don't feel well.
I don't either. Like, we're fighting about nothing right now. Yeah. And, and that just goes to show that, like, we do this even when, like, some days we probably don't want to. Yeah. But today we're doing it, and we're always appreciating it. And I love you guys. We love you guys. This has been Future Bachelor. We'll see you next week. We love you. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And next week, y'all. Deuces.
Wash your hands.
Future Bachelor Podcast.